Few months ago, you might have heard about a viral question in Quora, where parents used to ask about sending their students to coaching centers for preparation to join IIT like centers. These kind of questions were mocked by the other parents, and most of the replies would be like, let them enjoy their childhood. This is the very early stage to think about all these things. And of course, they were true. And in today's time, this kind of mindset has come into the field of Ayurveda. So the students who are studying the undergraduation are thinking about joining post-graduation during some stage of their studies, UG studies. And now the question is, what is the right time to actually start serious preparations for these kind of PG entrance exam? And that too by taking a coaching center as the base and adapt to their time. So what is that exact time? In this video, we are going to find out that, and the entire video opinion is entirely, you can say it's my opinion, and this is by experience and by seeing some of my friends and other people, seniors and juniors and all those things. So whatever I tell, 99% if not 100% should be true. So watch this video till the end for complete information. Then why this question in today's time? Few years ago, the situation was entirely different. There were only few coaching centers which were taking offline physical classes, especially in places where national institutes like you can say Varanasi or Jaipur or Jamnagar are situated, Delhi. So there many of the students used to migrate during their internship, prepare and then ultimately give their exams. So getting PG or not getting is a secondary issue. So during internship they used to take. But the pandemic has changed everything now. So the offline classes were stopped and most of them switched to online coaching. And the important thing is, many of the new Ayurveda scholars started their own coaching centers. Now there are plenty of coaching centers you can see in multiple websites. Now the access to this kind of coaching centers is a very simple process. A click from your mobile will take you to such coaching classes. Is it the right time for you to join that, click that button or not? That is the entire discussion. This is a very important video in my opinion, because if you are not following this, definitely you are nowhere ending with a proper degree. That is why. Please watch this video till the end. We'll take a small example with a story. Imagine you are having a glass. This example is a famous one. We'll just modify it for this video. So there is a glass and you are having certain things like you have a stone, the bigger stones. You have the pebbles, the smaller stones. You have a sand and you have water. So now you are supposed to fill these things in the glass, given glass. The space is only that much. You won't get the extra space to fill everything. Within that much space, you have to fill the glass. Is it possible? Yes. How? That we will come at the end of the video. So this is the introduction, the story. There are three different types of students in Ayurveda, especially the undergraduation. The first set of students are those who follow the guidance given in their institute and ultimately take part in theory, practical first year, clear their first year exam, take part in second year, third year, and gradually, as per the guidance from their institute and from the syllabus point of view and clinical skill point of view, they develop in a stepwise manner. Ultimately, when they reach the internship, they think about their future and sometimes they may prepare, sometimes they may not prepare for the post-graduation examination. This is first set of students. There are second set of students who are entirely different to that. Initially, they join the institute and because of lack of proper guidance or maybe due to the negligence, they don't clear the exam. Ultimately, they end up with, you can say, without any kind of confidence, and ultimately they start preparing for entrance examination, like some time in between the UG studies. So these are, you can say, hopeless kind of students who don't know what to do and ultimately just following what others are doing. There are third type of students who are they're good in their studies, they're talented, they are having very good grasping capacity, but they are lazy or they are not actually following that proper routine to become a good doctor. They are clearing the exams, they are taking part in practicals, but somehow they are not complete in their professional sense. Now what they do, first year they clear, second year they clear, third year they clear, and ultimately when it comes to the final year and internship, they are worried. And now they are not confident about themselves. That's why they always take advice from a senior, or sometimes see their friend and just follow the random path what usually people take. So they are just following somebody else. They are not having the proper knowledge, or you can say the confidence for taking their own decisions. Now who is right among this? So first one, second one, third one. So we'll see that in this video in brief. Now, what is post-graduation entrance exam? It's an all India level examination, of course. But is the syllabus out of something what you are not studying in UG? No, the entire syllabus is from your undergraduate syllabus only. Maybe there are some other texts which you may not have read during undergraduation, you may be required to read in detail, or maybe have a look at the original book if you have some compiled book. In this case, you may have to see some original book. There is a particular ratio between the classical questions and the contemporary questions. Among them too, there are different types of questions. Like there are few questions which are memory based. There are few questions which could be analytical type. There are few questions which could be directly clinical in sense. Now, the trend in recent years regarding question paper is a mixture of these kind of questions. So the one who is just having the knowledge of memory based answers will not clear this type of examinations from now on. The one who has only clinical skills, who doesn't have some background theoretical information, no, he may also find it difficult to clear, even the analytical one. So it requires a comprehensive knowledge of theory plus the practical plus certain of the analytical skill of the student to clear the entrance examination in today's sense. To top the examination, you can tell, or to get into such institute where he or she would like to join. So that requires a combination, a comprehensive knowledge of these three, comprehensive skill of these three. Now, if you are not having proper knowledge of a particular subject, for example, take Shalya Tantra, which is to be studied in 4th year or final year. So, when you are not at all aware of Shalya Tantra syllabus in the sense from both theoretical as well as practical point of view, if I teach you something regarding the same from MCQ point of view, is it worthy? Of course, most of you might have said this as no. Of course, it is right. It is not going to help. Similarly, the Shalakya Tantra is also a final year subject. If you are not having any knowledge about Shalakya Tantra, are you in a position to understand the MCQs behind that? No. Not at all. These are certain new subjects. Maybe Kaya Chikitsa and certain part of Panchakarma you might have read in previous years. In some other subject, some part might have come. But still, even then, there are some new topics to be learned there too. So the point what I am trying to make is, without having the base knowledge of any subject, entering into an MCQ based study is nothing but a suicide in today's context. That is examination preparation context. It is nothing but you are actually just going to kill your profession. Why am I using such harsh word? Because it is deciding your future. That is why. It is just for showing the seriousness of the issue. Now, another point. That is, if you are wanting to study MCQ in the 3rd year, 4th year or 2nd year, 1st year, like from that time period, are you having that sufficient time to read the subject itself? Is 3 to 4 hours sufficient for you to clear Shalya, Shalakya, Kaya Chikitsa, Panchakarma like subjects per day? Then when are you going to actually study the MCQ? So this is the second question. The first question is, just now I cleared that Without the base knowledge, you cannot enter into MCQ based study. Second question is that subject itself requires a lot of time. It's a very new topic and they're all clinical in nature. You're not just reading and just by hearting, learning by heart or something like that. It's a very clinical aspect. Reading and application in clinical practice is necessary. As a trainee, you need to see the patients. So at least 1 or 2 hours per day, if you spend in hospital, you are going to become a good clinician. So the second point itself is also, you can say, it is on the negative side to prepare in 3rd or 4th year. Now, another point what I want to highlight is studying Shalyatantra, Shalakyatantra, Kaya Chikitsa, Roganidhana, Samhita or any of the subjects not the actual study of MCQ? You got it wrong. That itself is the study of MCQ. So the third point, important point is studying undergraduation perfectly with full concentration itself is the preparation for MCQ, All India Institute, All India related, any examination. It could be not just PG, it could be Public Service Commission examination or any of the state related other jobs questions, or you can say examinations. That is the study method. I say this with guarantee that, with full confidence that, if you study undergraduation perfectly, with proper theoretical knowledge, with clinical application, with clinical rounds, getting 50 to 60 marks is not a big deal. Even without preparation, you can clearly get 50 to 60. With a preparation of 6 months, you can get that into 75 to 80. With a preparation of 8 to 9 months, definitely you will be crossing 80 plus. So the key is undergraduation study. When you are in the undergraduation time, your focus should be on undergraduation study only. But the focus should be such that, the study should be such that any topic from that, like any concept from that topic should be imprinted or printed in your mind. You are recollecting that information and same thing you are putting in MCQ. Now MCQ itself is that. I am just creating an MCQ question by putting 4 options which can be confusing to the person. But when I know the concept very well, do I need to make mnemonic every time? No. Not at all. When I know the concept well, why should I worry? If I ask you which Ritu is going on now, if you again have to make mnemonics and think like, okay, this is rainy season, this is after this comes. No, this is not the way of study. Which Ritu is going on? Of course, you should be able to tell that. That is the practical experience. If you have not analyzed, and if you just see like raining, it's raining, so it should be Varsha Ritu, then you may be wrong. You have to know exactly which Ritu is going on outside and which are the dinacharya which are to be followed. Only when you follow that, you get the essence of it. So, following Ayurveda itself is a part of entrance study, isn't it? Yes. So, undergraduation study should not be compromised at any stage of first year, second year, third year or fourth year. Don't do that. Ideal time is internship. It is the internship. The conclusion what I am trying to make here is ideal time for preparation for MCQ based study is internship. MCQ based study is going to harm your clinical skills. You are not going to become a good Vaidya if you start MCQ based study in 4th year. You are not going to learn any of the clinical skills. Your mind is always on the other side. Today this topic is over. I don't know this topic. I have to read this topic. MCQ. So your mind is not at all concentrating on the actual 4th year. The disaster what can happen at the maximum is you may fail in the 4th year examination. This can also happen. It's not very unlikely. It is possible, very likely. The one who gives their 100% of the time towards entrance during 4th year may fail in the 4th year examination. Then the point of entrance itself doesn't arise. This is the major negative point. And imagine by chance you are not at all like confident about anything. So that's why you started learning MCQ in 4th year or 3rd year. And ultimately you got the seat. You cleared 4th year and ultimately you got the seat. Even then, You are entering into a particular branch. You are not again reading the entire Ayurveda. You are not going to become a generalized doctor. Now the situation is you have entered into a particular department. For example, take Prasuti Tantra. For example, take Shalakya Tantra. For example, take Panchakarma. So none of those teachers are going to consider you as a undergraduate. They are going to consider you as a doctor who has come here to have some higher experience, a specific subject experience. So at that time, you will have friends among your batchmates who may have learned well clinical skills as well as theoretical skills. And in that group, you may be the one who has the least knowledge about Ayurveda. That itself will make you feel inferior. The inferiority complex will develop, and none of the doctors or the guides will treat you as UG scholar. So don't expect them to teach you from first year BMS. No, nobody is going to do that. Nobody is going to teach you anatomy in the post graduation. Nobody. They expect you to know that. So this can also happen. You might have cleared everything by your luck. Ultimately, in PG, again you are on the lower side. You may get the PG degree, but when you come out, you are not again confident. So that whole career of your 3 years PG itself will go wrong. This can also happen. Just having degree of MD or MS will not serve the purpose. An Ayurveda doctor cannot be a super specialist if he doesn't have the whole knowledge of BMS. Not possible. It is not at all possible for a MS in Shalya Tantra or MD in Vaisheshikalpana to become a postgraduate without having the knowledge of BMS. The entire knowledge of BMS is necessary, including the speciality. Without BMS knowledge, the speciality knowledge cannot survive. This is the whole point of view. So, coming back to that story, what I initially started. So, a cup with stone, pebbles, sand and water. Now, I take this stone as the most essential thing. Take this stone as the most essential thing. The pebbles, you can take them as the subordinates or the subsidiaries, that which are helping you. You can take the sand as like the well-wishers or the moral support, like your parents, your friends who are pushing your, you can say, like thoughts, who are helping you out in any or the other way. And ultimately the water, you can take them as the recreational activities, what you require every day. So for you to fill that cup of success, you need to have the stones first. Keep the stones first. That is nothing but the knowledge of undergraduation here. The knowledge of undergraduation is first the stone. When you add stone into that cup, you will have the space for pebbles. So with the knowledge of UG, take the opinion of your senior faculty. Take the opinion of your good seniors. I tell good seniors, not simply seniors. Take the opinion of your parents to decide about when to join, like what to study, how to study, all those things. And when you add pebbles next, you will have space for sand. You have time with your friends, take their opinion and have a healthy discussion with them, take some recreational activities with them. So such things. And then you add water, still there is space. So these are some routine activities, recreational activities, all those things can be covered there. So that cup of success requires majorly concentrated, focused, determined undergraduation study rather than confused kind of study. No. Take this like order in a reverse way. Imagine you took the example, you took the opinions of only friends. So you added sand there. Now after adding certain amount of sand, the stone will not fit there. Stone will come out. So your undergraduation study is gone, ultimately gone. Or you might have heard from your faculty, like if they have given some wrong information. If you add pebbles first, again stone will not. And if you don't study at all, if you put on, if you continue to pour water, only recreational activities, again stone will not stay there. Again stone cannot be placed in that. So one or the other way, the stone will go out of the glass. So the success is not present. It is broken. So that is how that story determines or helps us to understand the importance of that stone. So when you add stone, the other things can automatically fit in. So success is a combination of all those. When you add anything else, it could be sand, pebbles or water first, stone will not fit that. So that is how your PG result is going to be on a negative side. This is very important. In spite of that, if you still want to learn MCQ in UG, only thing what you can do is, after studying a particular subject topic, just take 10 or 20 questions from that chapter, from that particular topic. Only that much, not more than that. For example, today you have studied AYUSH Adhyaya from Ashtanga, and you took the AYUSH Adhyaya test from theory point of view, 5 more questions, 2 more questions, and then you took 10 questions of MCQ from some book. That is fine. That is making sure that you are knowing the topic or not. Similarly, Roga Nidan, you have taken a topic, you studied Jwara Nidan, you studied it from theoretical point of view, clinical point of view, and then you take 10 to 20 questions from any of the MCQ book. Then analyze whether you understood the topic or not. That is fine. After a topic, just like weekly, you can spend hardly 10 to 15 minutes or half an hour maximum. So that is fine. Not more than that. I will not suggest any of the undergraduate student to take any coaching centers, like admission in coaching centers for post-graduation. No, not at all. So the ideal time is, it could be the beginning of internship if you are not at all confident, or it could be after 3 or 4 months of the internship when you are thoroughly, you can say, practiced or experienced in handling clinical cases in those 4 months. Most of the times, the clinical questions what appear in the entrance examinations are directly dependent on or directly based on the clinical experience. Like you are seeing regularly a patient and regularly you are seeing the reports, regularly you are analyzing the medicines, what has been changed. So you know the topic well. So you are actually learning that the practical, and you are also preparing for MCQ. Sometimes it happens. You remember the patient and you put tick mark in the entrance. So any of the clinical question, analytical question in the entrance exam, only the person who has a good theoretical as well as practical knowledge will only be able to solve. The people who make only mnemonics, the people who make only, who take, you can say, undergraduation lightly and take only MCQs in a serious way, will never be able to solve analytical or clinical question. So keeping the today's trend of questions in mind, this is going to be disaster. So to conclude, I would suggest you to take the stones first, pebble second, sand third, and water next. So concentrate on UG, and then everything else will follow. Otherwise, you are not going to succeed. Even if you get a PG seat, you may not succeed in your life as a PG scholar. So this is my conclusion. For such kind of videos, kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel. The entire video, whatever I have told, is from experience and from seeing the other people in this field. And it is 100% true in my knowledge. If at all there is a mistake, it could be hardly decimal kind of percentages. Otherwise, everything is absolutely fine. You can ask any of your successful seniors. They will be able to analyze what I told actually. So don't fall prey to your fellow friends. If they are joining, don't fall in that category. Take your own decision. Analyze yourself. Analyze your capacity. Then only you will be able to succeed.